And we're on.
It's the Sini-Gang with l-boogy.
And Sterno Supernova.
Hey there, Sterno.
Hey, Boogie. How you doing?
Doing all right. What's going on?
Not so much. How you been?
Doing all right.
I just did a redundant thing, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, sorry. I do that a lot. So, I mean, I don't know if it's too personal, but is there any pieces of wisdom that you get from that you like your parents said to you often that you like take to heart? I mean, just because the reason I'm bringing it up is I was at a gathering of like old coworkers, and one of my friends was telling me that she told her sons, who are now adults, all the way growing up once they hit like puberty, like don't knock up crazy. Like basically, if you find a girl, don't get too involved with a girl that's crazy.
Yep.
And
I didn't have anyone tell me that, but I know that, yes.
But that was the thing that she actually told them as a real thing that she tried to drill into their heads. And actually, one of the sons didn't really follow that, but the second son now even more so is following that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Did you have anything like that from your parents?
Nope, because my parents are Filipino.
Yeah, I wondered about that because I didn't have anything even close to that. Growing up, my parents never told me stuff like that. Like there was no sayings about stuff.
I mean, there might be something, but it probably doesn't stick with me.
Well, I had my parents tell me stuff one time, but there was no like, like when people in movies and TVs are like, yeah, my mom always said this, my dad always. I was like, no, I don't have anything. I didn't know if that was a cultural thing or just my parent thing, like if everybody had a parental thing that they
not everyone.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Like I said, like my parents are Filipino, so they just had to tell me once. If I did it again, like, didn't I tell you? Yeah,
I'm laughing because I know it's true. They never said a tarantado shot, but stuff. But yeah, basically. Didn't I tell you this? Yeah, didn't I tell you?
Yeah, because the next time you did something, I let's just say they handled it.
Yeah, none of this.
No, I mean,
and my parents. This is before the time of timeout, so yeah, there was.
We're not the kind of family where you sit down and talk about the lessons you've learned. No.
And you never did the whole Thanksgiving go around and say what you're thankful for stuff, did you?
No.
Oh, yeah,
one thing to fact Thanksgiving in Filipino, we don't celebrate the fact that the pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock.
So you're saying for us it's just an excuse to eat more?
Yes.
Okay, just check. Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I know there's some of you Filipinos out there who do that. You go around the table giving your thanks. There's also some of you Filipinos who have learned things from your parents. In fact, there's one guy. This is actually pretty famous. This guy, I believe he's Filipino. I want to say he's Filipino, but I'm not positive. So I don't want to say. He is Asian. But he's actually started this movement, sort of a non-profit movement, based on a saying that his dad would always say to him. And the saying is, because I said I would. And that's a lot of people know this because it's become a sort of a phenomenon online. I'm assuming you've never heard of it.
No,
but it is a
good assumption.
Yeah, it's become some sort of a phenomenon online where this guy, he basically started a thing. This actually happened after his father passed, but basically now he does stuff like it's basically following up on your promises. So basically,
it's being a man of your word.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because that's how the saying came about. Was he would ask his dad, are you really going to do it? He said, yeah, of course I'm gonna do it because I said I would.
Right.
And he always followed through on his word.
Yeah.
So this actually stuck with his son to the point that even after he passed, he started this movement of people doing stuff because they say they would. And it's basically a movement of doing good deeds, sort of kind of thing. Like,
right.
Like, or it's basically become a personal, like
a credo,
like gain, goals. Like if you have goals, you don't need to have
someone harping on.
Yes, you would. This actually, you can look this up yourself. But basically, you can email the guy, or you go to the website, and they will send you like blank business cards. On the bottom would say, "Because I said I would." And then you would write your little things on it, like I will become a doctor, and then that would be something you keep on, and you would have that as a goal
That's
because you say I would, or it could be something even simpler, like I will do. I'm trying to think of something easier because I'm only thinking of big goals. But
yeah,
but I will buy groceries every day this week or every week this month, kind of thing.
yeah.
And then because I said I would, it's become a sort of a cool movement. I believe his name is Alex Sheen. I want to say his last name is, and I know he's Asian, and I want to say he's Filipino just because of the stories I've heard from his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds like a dad thing, a Filipino dad thing.
Yeah.
It's like you would, a Filipino dad would, you would ask your dad, "Hey, are you really going to take me to Disney World?" Of course, because I said I would. That sounds like a Filipino thing. I'm not positive, but
right.
It could just be an Asian thing. But yeah, that is a saying that this guy learned from his dad and took to heart, and now he started a pretty famous non-profit. I believe it's non-profit because I don't think there's any way they make money. But
right.
But yeah, he started this thing called Because I Said I Would. It's really cool. I have a bunch of cards. I've never written anything on it, but I just figured I got them.
Did you say I would?
I never wrote on them, so I never.
No, but did you say you were going to write in the cards and do it? Because if you didn't, you really are like doubly wrong right now.
That's the first card is I will write on these cards because I said I would.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look it up sometime. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did a quick Google search. I didn't get a chance to get in deep into it, but yeah, it does look like a cool
it's a pretty big thing.
Right.
I mean, it started off as just a guy telling a story online, and then about how his father had passed, and now he follows through on his promises. And it's become, I mean, it's like people have actually, he's actually prevented suicides and stuff like that, or prevented or helped people overcome like drug addiction or something.
Right.
People are saying, I will stop taking drugs because I said I would. That kind of stuff. But like I said, it doesn't have to be to that extent. It could be,
Yeah. It doesn't have to be like huge things because little things matter too.
Yeah.
I get it.
But
I don't know. I'm just so like trying to figure out if he's Filipino or not, which is.
Have you seen a picture of him?
Yeah,
he's Asian.
Easily passes.
And he does have Filipino features, but
that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I don't want to presume because, like I said, I did hear some of the stories that he told about his dad, and it sounds very Filipino. But then we have Vietnamese friends who have the same same stories.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's why I'm trying to get at. It's like because I don't have any things. I mean, maybe I have some things that my parents have said over and over, and I just can't remember them right now. Or
yeah, well, I mean, you would think if they said it to you over and over again, like it would stick enough that you'd remember that my mom or my dad always said this. Like I said, I don't have anything either. I was just wondering if like you did. I mean, I've had like one-time speeches where my mom and dad said something like,
"Yeah, they don't have to say it again."
Right. Well, I mean, they said it to me like as an adult, like if you're gonna be you got to decide if you're gonna be a man of your word or not. That's one of the questions she asked me, and then I was like, oh crap, yeah, all right. If you're people will know if you're a man of your word or not. And I'm like, oh. So because I was at that point, I was kind of flaking off on some stuff, like, oh, I'll do this, and even though I said I would, I didn't. So,
I mean, my parents are your typical Asian parents.
Yeah,
you make you study. Schoolwork is like the main thing. Don't hang out with don't hang out with your friends too much, kind of thing. And
don't go gallivanting around.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah,
which are your typical Asian sayings, which I don't want to say is something that the parents say and that stuck with me. No, because I obviously didn't follow through on any of that.
No, you didn't.
But I mean, I don't want to go as far as saying my parents are like my mom was a tiger mom, because that's sort of a new thing anyways. But
yeah,
but I don't know if she was at that extent. I mean, I do see a lot of that in my parents, but
yeah, it wasn't my parents didn't fall into that category, but I understand the concept. I've seen other people that lived, with tiger moms that are my friends. So yeah.
But I do think that's a cultural thing. Was your friend Asian?
Filipino. I mean,
okay.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I'm also saying, yeah. So I think it's typical for the culture to not have. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of white people I know who
don't have those things.
Yeah, don't have that either.
Okay, yeah.
But I think it's more common in the culture because it's not It's not something Filipinos do
Mm-hmm.
typically. It's like the birds and the bees.
Oh yeah.
Filipinos don't talk to their kids about the birds
Hell
and the bees.
no.
I've
Yeah.
never
No, neither did I.
I've never had the conversation, and I don't know anyone who's had the conversation. Not saying that there hasn't been any Filipinos out there who do have the conversation. And I'm talking first generation, second generation. I'm sure
Yeah.
nowadays there are some other people who do it, but
Yeah, with their kids. Yeah, I'm
I've
sure.
never had the conversation. I've never needed the conversation. I'm glad I've never had the conversation.
My dad actually did the really, really light version of the conversation, which is basically, do you have any questions or do you need to know anything? I'm like, no, I'm good. And that was it. That to me was like, I'm surprised he even went that far with it, because I could tell he was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable with just that one thing. We didn't even, I mean, and I'm like, all right. That was like the big father, son, birds and bee talk. And that, I mean,
Never had it.
yeah.
Never even had that much.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents know like I said, I've been gallivanting with my friends against their, their wishes.
Uh-huh.
I've also been watching rated R movies. So they know I know this stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't hang around I didn't always hang around with the cleanest cut of people.
Right.
They knew there's stuff going around, or stuff was going on in the people I hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
So they know I was learning that stuff from the friends anyways.
Yeah. Learning it in the streets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't have to. You pick up on this stuff easily.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe some kids don't.
I mean,
I learned
you get the biology in school, so that's all you need, and then the rest of it is you pick up the rest. However, you pick up the rest, So there you go.
Yeah, I learned all of this through talking with friends and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I do all that at the lunch table in middle school or whatever. You learn a lot of this stuff. Well, I did.
I know the lunch table. I was like Catholic school, nuns. No, that wouldn't work. But yeah.
So yeah,
there were discussions.
But yeah, I mean, we had a sex education thing, but we didn't really learn anything in that. No, they didn't teach us anything we didn't already know. In our public school sex education, which was
you told me you had like pregnant people in sex ed or something, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
My school, it was typical. I mean, pregnant girls weren't weird, or it wasn't like, whoa, that girl's pregnant. It's like, oh, there's another pregnant girl. It's sort of.
Nah,
it was sort of
it was a bigger deal in parochial. I mean, Catholic high school. So
I mean, it's not
happened, but
it's not like every other girl was pregnant. It's just like if I had a pregnant girl in class, it wasn't like, oh, she's a pregnant girl. No, it's like,
whatever.
Yeah, she's pregnant. So it wasn't a big deal. So yeah, and like I said, and we talked about it, and over, like I said, the lunch table, like, it wasn't a big deal. Learn the birds and the bees that way. Never had to have the talk. But like I said, I do think a lot of that is cultural because.
And do you think it's generational too? I think you mentioned generational. I don't know if you did.
Sort of.
Because I don't know how people that have kids are that are our age at this point and have kids, how they do it with their kids, or if they just they follow the same way.
Because we and our generation of Filipinos, specifically Filipino-Americans, we're sort of become Americanized, or we've grown up in America. So a lot of us pick up on white culture.
Yep.
I don't want to say it that way, but that's the best way of saying it.
Yeah.
So a lot of us pick up on this stuff, and that is, and like the birds and the bees to me is part of that. It's like, hey, Johnny, let's sit down and talk about the birds and the bees.
It's a television trope too, but
it is.
So people I'm saying you see that on TV, and that's what some people start to internalize, even if subconsciously, as the normal way of doing things.
And that's what they have to do. And
right. Yeah. Oh, it's time for the talk, little Johnny, like you just said. So I mean, yeah.
But no, like, take it from me. I'm an expert.
Okay.
Don't have to talk. It's weird. Just let them watch movies. Don't restrict them on porn.
Wow. Okay, I think you just took it just a little bit too far with that. But
porn is so readily available today. It's not like It's not like it's hard to show.
I actually don't know how parents today do that with all that. Everything's so available to kids,
I know.
especially with kids being smarter than parents a lot of the time. I mean,
it was so hard for us to watch porn. Not only.
I remember your house. That one thing that you had to do. We had the squiggly lines and try to make stuff out. That was one way of doing it. I mean, there was just one of many venues that we picked up on, but
for one way, the main thing is you had to be able to get the porn. You had to find a videotape of porn.
Oh, you did that way.
I mean, I'm talking about that.
Right.
You had to get a tape somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Well, you can go to the video store and rent it, but if you're underage,
yeah, that's not gonna.
You're not gonna get it.
Right.
You have to ask friends for it. Maybe you get a copy of a copy, or
yeah, you put the two VCRs together and you do the VCR to VCR copy.
And then you got to take this videotape and pop it in your VCR when the parents aren't around.
And not forget to take it out when you're done.
Which means you can't just hide in the closet and watch this stuff. You have to watch it on the one or two TVs you have in your house.
I know kids today have it so easy. Oh my God. I mean,
exactly. You got porn in your pocket 24/7.
True.
Oh my gosh. So true. So easy.
Yeah. I'm really curious how this next generation is going to end up.
They're going to be smart because of
there'll be a lot less hang-ups, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe they're going to have unrealistic expectations because they're watching too much of that crap. I don't know.
I mean, the way I look at it is I look at kids that grew up in like the 50s.
Yeah.
And I compare it to how we grew up later on in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Like, so I look at like Leave It to Beaver or Andy Griffith and look how I don't want to say cheesy or how vanilla or.
See, I actually wonder about that. Like, that's TV. And TV was
so you don't think in the 50s and 60s that's how kids grew up in the United States? Like,
I think they
like Leave It to Beaver and Wall-E.
I think on the surface and for public stuff they were like that, but I think there's still some freaky people back then. They were just there was some stuff out there. Yeah,
but they were probably the
exception rather than the rule.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering because, I thought the same way for a long time too. Maybe back in the 50s, everything was so sparkly, white picket fence, all that stuff.
Pleasantville, the movie Pleasantville,
exactly, Pleasantville.
If you haven't seen it, it's about a movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how it even happens. I just remember
it was about the 50s and 60s.
They were injected,
and they were vanilla.
Yeah,
but then it also shows the other side of the.
They changed it.
It changes the movie turns into color. Not to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But then you get more of a real feel of what it was like.
Yeah. And near the end, some of the main people are a little more freaky too.
Yes.
So I don't know. Because
I can't believe I remember that movie.
I think
I've seen it once.
I'm surprised you brought it up. Really, I didn't. I was like, yeah, Pleasantville. Really?
It's exactly what we're talking about.
It is about Pleasantville. But I mean, are people going to look like in 20, 30 years from now? Are they going to look at us as Pleasantville? And
yes.
You think so?
I think that's what's going to happen because they are they have so much of this information readily available, or the way that the society is learning. Like I said, we had TV. Basically, what taught us was TV, rather than the internet. Right. So we learned a lot of stuff from TV and movies and radio. But that's what we had over the kids in the 50s. So now the kids today have the internet, which is way more than TV what we had. So it's I don't know how to describe it, but I don't know if it's better or not. I think it is.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it will be or not in the end, but we'll see. I mean, usually stuff works out. Every time the new generation comes up, the old generation starts putting them down and saying they're slackers or they're whatever. And then by the time those kids are adults, they make their way usually. I mean, like you said, they'll progress. They'll be different from the previous generation. I mean, the 60s people were different from the 50s people, were different from the 70s people, were different. I think it'll be working out. I just see all the people sometimes I see the people in my social media feeds bashing the new generation. And I'm like, whatever, I don't know. I mean, I don't have to deal with the millennials or whatever the newest one is as much as maybe other people do, but I don't really feel that negative about them.
I consider myself a millennial.
Do you really?
What am I? Am I a
Gen X,
Xer?
aren't you? I'm pretty sure you're Gen X because I'm Gen X, like solidly Gen X.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe? I'm
But the thing is, I'm into a lot of the stuff the millennials are in.
Just because you're into it, does that make you a millennial? Is that what you're saying? I thought it was just
because of when you were born.
Exactly.
No, I think it's more of a
state of mind. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, like you could say in the '60s, where you think they were the hippies.
Huh?
You could generally think people in the '60s were hippies, right?
There were some, yeah.
There were some,
yeah.
But it's not because of the year you're born or grew up, right?
But when I say Gen X, it's a generational thing. It's when you were born. You're talking about like yuppies. It's not everybody was a yuppie in the '80s, but there were some. Yeah. I'm
thinking millennials. I mean, I know what you're saying. If you're born after 2000, you're a millennial.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think you should be talking more about like I don't think hipster is the right term. What's the good version of hipster, or is hipster a good term? I don't even know. I don't know if it's a good term or not anymore. Because years ago you said you told me I could easily be a hipster, and I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And then later on you were telling me that hipster was a bad term because it was kind of. And then later on I'm like, I don't know if it's good or bad anymore. Is hipster good or bad?
It depends on your point of view.
Oh,
it's like
so hipster could be like a trendy guy that doesn't really.
Yes, or it could be someone who's
up the trend,
who's copying trends all the time. See, it's up to you.
Okay, so I mean, I just didn't know if it was a negative or positive description of somebody. I just don't understand. I mean, so it just depends on how you use it in the context of the conversation, I guess.
No, it's your point of view. It's how you see it.
I mean, yeah, I know.
Do you hate people who are like that, or do you?
I don't have a problem with people like that. It's just not my thing all the time.
Then it's not a bad thing to you,
right?
There are people who don't like people like that. Then it's a bad thing.
Damn hipsters and yeah, making us eat kale and put avocado and all this crap and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just checking. I guess I thought I was thinking. I was thinking that it was a little more cut and dry than that, but I guess no, it's not. All right.
Like what are the years for Gen X?
I don't know, but I remember looking it up, and I looked it for myself. I didn't really care about everybody else. I'm like, am I Gen X or not?
So
I looked it up, and I was pretty much solidly in the Gen X.
So if you're born like a year before it, you don't qualify.
The generation born after the baby boomers, roughly from the early 60s to the late 70s. So you would qualify, I believe.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess if you don't identify as Gen X,
I don't identify with anything.
So, like, with the X and Y, the normal progression, or is there something in between?
I don't care.
It
really bothers you, doesn't it?
No,
because I don't really care.
Okay.
I don't pay attention to that stuff. Have you ever heard me say Gen X, Gen Y, or millennials?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said it.
I don't know if you meant
I've never called anyone.
Oh, no, not called. I think we've used it in conversation.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Positive.
I can't quote. I can't be like on January 2001. You use the word Gen X. I don't know.
Nope, because I don't.
You don't subscribe to those labels.
Yeah. The only time I say Gen X is when I'm talking about the X-Men.
Oh, maybe that's funny. That might have been when you said
it.
The
only time I talk about Gen X is.
Was that a good comic or not?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I don't care if other people didn't like it because I liked it. It spoke to me.
Did it really? I don't remember it being that substantial. I thought it was more fluff. But anyway.
To me, it was more about the younger kids becoming X-Men rather than these old people like Cyclops and Jean Grey.
You know, there was a New Mutants in between that. They were like the next generation. Then Gen X was the one past that.
I know.
But I know that was I'm going on a very geeky tangent. I'm sorry. I apologize to all the non-geeks out there.
I didn't care if no one else liked it. I liked it.
Okay. There was a person that pulled off their own skin. Like, wasn't that Husk or something? That would like.
Yeah, you don't have to like everyone.
Okay.
Just because one guy sucked, don't mean the whole team sucked.
There was the other one. Didn't she have the spikes that came out of her skin?
That was cool. That was me.
Cool. That was Miro, wasn't it?
I don't remember her name.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Gen X. Okay.
I mean, we just talked about this. I went to the record store yesterday and bought a whole bunch of records, vinyl records, which is a very hipster thing to do.
Right.
I mean,
before that,
and I'll admit, I was at the record store, and there were a lot of people who annoyed me because of their conversations and their pretentiousness.
Okay, this is weird. I mean, this is sort of along the same lines, but years ago we saw this movie, which I still hadn't decided if I liked or not.
Yep.
Which is Ghost World.
In fact, I watched it again last week.
Really?
Yes, I
Ghost
did.
World? Okay.
I actually watched it.
There's a part in there where there's like record vinyl collectors, and they're like,
which is hilarious. The movie is so hilarious because they are so geeky and so into it.
Yeah.
And that's how I felt inside of the record store.
You wouldn't be one of the people that are like, looking at the record and being all like, I don't know.
Not to the point that they were doing.
Okay, just double checking.
Not to the point.
I didn't think so, but I just want to make sure.
But I do understand like the subtleties of records and like how some mono sounds are good and stuff like that.
Okay.
I do understand a lot of that.
But the other people, I mean, back when I was really into comic books more than I guess I just made a big speech about it a second ago that sort of emphasized that. But I would go to comic book stores and I would I'd be willing to talk to the people behind the counter. But there are people talking in those stores that I just like, oh my God, they were getting heated about whether Goku is like, either Kamehameha and all this. I mean, there were just all these things, and I'm just like, wow. And let me not make eye contact with these people because I don't want to start a conversation, and don't let them piss me off so I get drawn into an argument or something. Those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, there's those people in every
fandom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as much as I hate to say it, I'm in a lot of fandoms. I mean,
yeah, you are.
I mean, even it could be sports. I mean, I love talking sports, but I hate the guy that's always
quoting stats.
Like Michael Jordan versus LeBron James, and I hate those conversations. That kind of stuff.
Right.
And I mean, I don't mind stats because stats are math. Stats are stats.
Right.
But talking about but some of the sports conversations is just way too much.
Mm-hmm.
It is just way too, not geeky, but way too.
Like there's certain people that you talk to and you're like, wow, this is like your whole life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, man, that's.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I could go on and on about
basketball
and college basketball and NBA, and I can go on and on about NFL and baseball. But I know when I know the limit. I know when to stop. Mm-hmm. I know when not to break out some of that stuff.
I mean, it also depends on your situation and the people that you're around. I mean,
if there's someone who can match wits with me, then I will test them. But then again, there could be someone like you listening to us and thinking, "Damn, these guys."
Well, I mean, I know that I can deal with Star Trek fandom. So I mean, there's also limits, and it's always like a little dance between Star Trek fans about which one. Which did you watch more? Next Generation, the old generation? Which captain was your favorite? You could tell, and you could see if you're on the same wavelength, and so that kind of thing.
Now, people like that do bother me, but there are other people who bother me more, and that would be the people who argue that they are fans of something when they're not really.
Oh, you
fans.
mean the posers?
Yes. Okay. That bothers me more than anything. And when like with Star Trek or with Star Wars
especially, I know there's a lot.
You get a lot. Star Wars. I hate it because everyone thinks they're a Star Wars.
Well,
fan.
And Marvel comics now too with all the movies.
Yeah, everyone thinks they're a Marvel fan. Everyone thinks they know about the Marvel universe, and I hear all these conversations all the time about what they know, how they think they're smart about all this stuff, and then you hear two people arguing, and they both don't know diddly. They don't know crap.
Yeah, it's true.
And the fact that I do know this stuff, I can't stand it.
But you don't want to put your nose in there because then you're drawn into that conversation.
I'm not going to correct people because I don't want to add fuel to the fire. Exactly. And sometimes it's hard to argue with someone who doesn't know crap.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
It's hard to argue with stupid people. Sometimes you just let stupid be stupid. Tell that to your kids.
That's not a bad one, actually.
Don't, yeah, because some people.
Well, I have heard you can't argue with stupid before.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just can't. Some people just can't be corrected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some people will argue, of course, Return of the Jedi is the best movie. It had Ewoks and fighting. And sometimes you just can't argue with that.
The juxtaposition of the primitive creatures fighting the technologically advanced. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I can go on about, other stuff, but I'm like, okay, whatever, walk away.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like some people, if you like something, that's fine.
Yep.
And you can define for yourself what it means to be a fan of something. But don't be putting on airs like you're the expert when you are not, clearly not. Or I guess they wouldn't know that, I guess. But yeah, there are people like, I don't know. I mean, you and I both like Man of Steel, right? The Superman movie that came out. And I had people, I told them what I thought of it. And they came up to me like, that's not Superman. Superman is funny. Superman is bright. And I'm like, that's one, that's a version of Superman. But other versions have been like what you saw on the screen. And it's also kind of more adult and blah, blah, blah. But they're like, it sucked. I'm like, that's fine. You don't argue those things. It's just, some people just have opinions.
One thing I do like about the record buying community, it's more accepted to like what you like. It's because the other ones like, oh, you like that. I mean, like when I'm saying like,
you mean like
Star Wars
genre?
fandom or comic books or whatever.
You're talking about people like hip hop and people like whatever. Is that what you're saying?
We in the record buying community.
Yeah.
Like you could buy a Backstreet Boy record and people aren't going to say, oh, you got Backstreet Boys. They're like, oh, you like what you like. They don't care. Because I went to this record store thing. It was Record Store Day.
Right.
Where they released all these rare records. Mm-hmm. They released obscure stuff like groups that you probably never heard of.
Okay.
Air and I'm not going to go on. But they also released like Taylor Swift and Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
And basically people were buying
whatever they liked.
Hip hop, country, whatever. Mm-hmm. And nobody was saying, oh, you bought Taylor Swift.
So there's no generally there's no stigma according to the artist
exactly.
or the genre or whatever.
And a lot of people are saying, is this record cool? And everyone, basically it's like, hey, if you like it, you like it. It's not like
it's not like that movie High Fidelity, basically, where there was like the snobs in the store and like
that's really an extreme.
Yeah, okay.
It's not really like, well, I'm sure it is like that sometimes, but most of the people that I know, it's not. Because you could say in the comic book community, it is very much like that. I can also say it's like that in like the shoe buying or the fashion community.
Well,
like
fashion's always been like
really, that's very like, ooh, you're wearing that.
That was like last year's color, or that's so whatever. Yes. Blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yes. Like, I don't like those. Why'd you buy those?
Mm-hmm.
What
were you thinking? Oh my god, that kind of thing.
But so I did like that about being at the record store. No one ever said anything like, "Ew, you're gonna get that record."
Right.
No one really.
Is that pretty much the most open or like accepting fandom that you're part of?
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not part of that one at all, so I don't even know what you're talking about.
I mean, I don't know what else there is.
Yeah. Like you said, you're part of a great many numbers of.
You are in some too. Anime. I'm not really into anime, but I don't know if you are either.
I am.
You are, but you're not.
I'm intentionally not watching certain things because I don't feel like I'm in a certain place where I want like fun stuff.
Yeah. You don't go to the conventions.
Not lately. Yeah. I don't. But when I'm into a series, I know stuff about the series.
Yeah.
So, but like, there's some people that hate like Naruto, and they call people that watch Naruto Narutards, and yeah. Oh, okay. So you laughed.
No, it's fine. I've never heard it.
You never heard that one?
No, I never heard that one.
Yeah, there's this. It's not an accepting community. It's very there's a lot of factions within there that you could easily offend and cause.
See, that's not something I knew. I always thought that anime community was very loving.
It depends who you talk to and what kind of environment you're in. If you're trying to introduce people to anime, you could easily like, "What, you watch this crap?" That kind of thing. So it just like it's one of those things that's very subjective, like movies.
I have seen some weird anime that makes me think, "Who the hell watches this?" Though.
Yeah, there's some. And then, like, you know, I was actually talking to a bunch of people last night about it, and they're like, "Yeah, they're like, are you into Food Wars?" I'm like, "No," and they're like so disappointed in me that I don't watch Food Wars, and you know, "Are you into this one?" Like, "Yeah." "Oh, cool, we can talk about." And then, you know, it's a very much when you first start talking to somebody about anime, there's a very long feeling out process about what they like and what they could be into, and yeah, there's some weird stuff, especially, you know, because
What's that gay? What's the gay sex one?
I actually don't know which one you're talking about. I don't really go for
It's
that.
a category.
Oh, what is it called? I don't remember the name.
Not hentai.
No, that's just
starts with the H then or Y?
Oh, God, I don't remember the name, but there was a name for it. I just don't know.
Yes, because I remember looking through some of this stuff. I'm like, hey, what's this?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is weird.
I'm gonna look it up, and hopefully it doesn't stay in my.
I mean, not saying anything against anyone who likes the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's
it's just I was like, whoa, this is weird. I'm sure even if you do like the stuff, you're even thinking, man, this is some weird stuff.
I'm sure.
I mean, I've liked some weird animes, but yeah.
I'm looking at gay anime category.
I know I'm not looking it up on my computer because I don't want that in any of my search engines. Yaoi, that's it. That's it.
That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know.
It's YAOI.
Yeah.
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 Because like I said, we have been to anime conventions, and I'm like, ooh, what's this stuff? What's this yaoi?
Now I gotta look up anime categories because I really don't know some of these.
You have to know this to stay away from it.
Not really.
Or if you like it.
No, you just don't. If you read the synopsis, if it doesn't sound good, don't watch it.
Yeah, but a lot of it's in Japanese.
No, it's not. I mean, you can get. I go Crunchyroll. It tells you what it's about, basically. So it's not that bad. It's not that hard to figure out what you're watching anymore. I mean, you don't know if it sucks, but you don't know. You can tell what genre it is. They don't try to hide it from you. They don't want to try to. Oops, you're accidentally watching a gay pornographic anime,
which happens many times for me.
Really?
Yes, I've been watching something. All of a sudden, it just breaks on into something weird.
Okay. I'll have to look it up. I don't see a good listing of it right now.
Whatever.
Sure. No,
I know you have a folder.
I'm on. No.
I know it's hidden in your my computer under taxes or something.
Taxes. That's a good one. I have to remember that one.
My documents. Whole yaoi folder. Like, oh, what is that called again? Let me Google it. How do you say this? Yao? Whatever.
That's why I don't get Alexa playing yaoi selection. Specify letter. I don't know what Alexa does. Obviously, you can tell from me just saying that. Oh man. So yeah. But it, you know, whatever. You know, fandom is fandom. So I don't know what I'm trying to. I'm just trying to get away from the gay anime stuff. So.
Oh. Yep. I mean, there's other stuff that you could be into anything.
Right.
I mean, we're sort of into bikes, I guess. I am.
Well, you're way more than I am, but I dabbled in it for a couple.
And when I say bikes, I'm not talking motorcycles. I'm
talking bicycles. Yeah. Well, you kind of you helped me out to figure out how to get into like fixing up some old bikes and making them my own.
And it's fun.
It's fun, yeah. Yeah, so it's a cool thing.
I spent yesterday fixing up one really nice.
The one you got
one of my $20 ones.
Yeah,
man, nice. It's nice now.
Is that your primary bike now? You think?
No, it's the one I'm gonna leave it somewhere and just leave it there until I need it. I'm just gonna leave it outside.
Seriously?
At work, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it there locked up. If I need it, it's there.
Oh, okay.
One of those things. But I fixed it up nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I only paid $20 for it though, so. If it gets stolen, if it gets messed up, So
how much did you put into it beyond the $20 that you spent for it?
I bought a chain, which was $4. And I put a lot of cleaning into it.
Oh, so you bought a bottle of that stuff to remove all the rust.
I already have all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to buy nothing.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
I mean, I do look at it like, man, I could do this to it. I can add this to it. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do nothing to this. I'm just gonna clean it up and make it nice. That's it.
Okay.
I could make it, I could hook it up though. I could lower it. I could.
You've done that to another bike before.
Yes.
The whole lowering thing.
and I do have parts, but
yeah. I need to sell some of the stuff I was working on, or at least because I got to give up on some stuff. I'm not going to get to it.
don't give it up. Write on a card because I said I would. I will fix up this bike,
and I'm gonna put on the card. I'm going to sell this bike because I said I would. See how that works too? It can work many different ways. I'm going to clear out space in my garage because I said I would. I bought a $20 bike, but it was just pure rust. So I mean,
yeah, but that can get fixed up.
Of course, it can get fixed up. Anything can get fixed up. It's like, how much do you want to put into it? It'll be the bicycle equivalent of a money pit, money pit home. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I could easily sell it for 20 more than what I bought it for. Like make a few bucks off of it and be done with it, just to clear up some space.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have 3 bicycles right now. Well, 2.5. The other one's not really ride ready or whatever you call it, rideable. So. They can get rid of one and be fine.
Yeah, man, I get rid of bikes all the time.
Okay.
But it's after I fixed it up. It's not like I give up on it and say, I'll sell it. I fix it up and then I sell it. So, little difference there.
Okay.
It's like buying a house. I'll fix it up and then sell it. I won't buy the house and say,
it's like flipping the bike.
Yes. I won't be halfway through. It's like, I don't think I'm going to fix this. Sell it.
Well, people want to buy the frame. I could sell the frame. I sell it as a frame, not rideable, or I could spend the time and clean it up, which I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm sort of glad I never got into the car fandom or fixing up cars.
Why?
Or buying, because that is an expensive hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Is cars. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, even if I don't want to say I dabbled into it. I looked into it, back when I was in high school.
I mean, what guy that has a car doesn't look at it at least a little bit?
Yeah, I changed out an intake.
Right.
Got
a cold air intake going on. You changed the chip thing or the
EC.
You can tell we didn't get that deep into it. I forgot. Yeah,
I used to buy magazines.
Yeah,
I used to have in high school. I had a Nissan Sentra. And I wanted to turn it into a rice rocket kind of thing,
mm-hmm.
or a street car,
mm-hmm.
And I didn't lower it, although I looked into lowering it. I did change the intake. I had a cosmetic stuff to it, but I didn't really put money into it. But that right there, I was on the verge. I was right there. I had my foot in the door. And I didn't go in. I didn't walk in the door. And now, every now and then, I think if I had, if I committed to it, what would have happened? Would I have these nice cars today, or would I be like dead broke? And
well, I mean, we had friends that really were deep into it. I mean, did they end up being dead broke? I thought they were okay.
I also have a lot of friends that are deep into it and who are no longer into it, and got rid of the cars and don't do anything with it now.
That's true.
So and then you have friends who are just mechanics now because they were into it.
Right. I mean, it led to a way of earning money. So
I mean, and when I was growing up, that was sort of like the Asian guy thing to do. I know people today who are into it, but it was sort of. I guess that's why I had my foot in the door. It was because I had friends who did it, and Filipinos, we have our hive mind. So I was
hive mind.
I was getting into it. Yeah, because the other Filipinos were doing it. But I'm sort of glad I didn't, because like I said, that stuff is expensive.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think anything that you can get into, you can have people that are like willing to put tons of money into it, tons of time, tons of,
You have your foot in the door of one thing right now.
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't know if you want to get into it, but you do have something. I'm not going to get into it.
You go ahead and get into it.
But you do have your foot into something right now.
Right.
If you do go all in, it's going to be expensive, right?
I know. That's why I'm not going all in. It's basically what he's saying is,
okay.
I bought a pistol. I bought a Glock.
Yes, and then now you're talking about all the stuff you want to do to it.
I'm done. I finished it.
Okay.
I put night sights on it. I changed a couple of things, and
then you're also thinking of other.
I added a light to it, and I just got some.
Yeah, but you're also thinking of other guns now.
I'm looking in the future if I keep going with it. But I also I have learned over the years that I don't always stick with stuff. I start with something,
Yes,
like bicycles. We just
Yes.
talked about it, where I get into it and I put money into it and then I just stop.
yes.
But I'm okay with that as long as I don't go too far with the money. And that's why, like, you know, if I don't feel like I've wasted money, if I learn something or if I end up with some cool stuff, that's fine. But yeah, there's a line that I'm not quite there yet, but I can see it. And I'm trying not to cross it. Yeah, and
If you cross into it, that's fine. It's just,
well, I don't want to cross into it and then like back away and be the guy that has like, oh wow, I got, you know, 5 pistols or 2 ARs and I'm not gonna do anything with them. Then I gotta go find a way to sell them, or, you know, or people come in looking at me like, why do you have so much firepower in your house?
Tackleberry.
Yeah.
Which isn't a problem if you're into it.
Yeah, that's like, if you're into it, but I just don't know how into it I'll be a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. That's all I'm saying. So
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of friends that are into it.
Yeah.
I do. I have friends that's all they talk about.
Mhm.
It's like all the time, like, hey, check these out. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah. I was actually worried because there's a Glock
But you
container
were
behind you. And I'm like, if anybody's gonna be able to spot the Glock case.
But I hear you talking, and I
Yeah.
hear your
It's fun to learn these things.
conversations about what.
Well, there was one part of it that it led me to that whole, you know, the prepper thing. And I don't want to be a prepper, the guy that like stores tons of food in case of a disaster. But it doesn't mean that you can't be ready for stuff and have like a little ready bags. That's kind of, I think it's not a bad idea. I'm doing that stuff. You know, I'm not going crazy. Like I don't think I'm going to be having to traverse 30 miles of wilderness to get home from wherever I am, especially in this area, unless I decide to go to 30 miles of wilderness.
You don't go 10 feet into the woods.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's realistically, you know, what would happen if I'm like stuck in my car, you know, somewhere where it's not easy to walk to the next place, which is like, for me, it's like, that's 2 miles. That's not going to happen, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, so yeah, I'm into it, but not too much.
You're not into it at all. I mean,
I just said into it, but not too much. I think that's pretty good.
You're a guy who doesn't want to go camping.
Yes, why would you go camping when there's no air conditioning? Damn it!
I actually enjoy camping. I hate the woods, but I enjoy camping.
Well, you don't do like the full
rugged. I do like electricity at our campsite,
and you don't dig holes to take it to do your business.
No, I do like bathrooms at our campsite.
So I mean, to me, when I hear camping, I always think of, hey, we're so far away. There's no utilities. There's no electricity that besides, you know, the stuff like the solar stuff you bring or whatever.
Yeah, to me, camping is hanging out with your friends in the woods. To me, that's what camping is.
Yeah.
To me, is not surviving in the wilderness.
Yeah.
No. See, I think that's where we differ.
No, I think it's my lack of experience is kind of like, I have this weird notion of it because I haven't done it, and I totally accept that. I still don't want to do it.
We tried to get you to do it, and you just like, no.
Nope, I don't want to do it. I mean, I just don't. I mean, I think I can pretty much figure out what it's like besides the actual tactile experience of being in the environment.
You should go when all the friends go. When all our friends go. There is one, I believe they go in August. It's the big one. There's like 30 people, and you do have to sleep in a tent. But
that's fine.
But like I said, it's a big party. Is what it is in the woods, especially when Filipinos do it. Filipinos don't camp like white people.
Okay, what's the difference? I mean,
food, one thing.
Okay.
Well,
is this going to be an hour-long thing? I just did I open up a big can of worms here by asking that question?
I'm gonna shorten it.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm talking about, I'm not talking about, surviving in the wilderness kind of thing. I say when I go camping with the Filipino friends, we bring lots of food.
Right.
We don't kill animals to eat. No, we go to the supermarket. We'll prepare. We'll buy food, and
you got stuff for s'mores. You got stuff that kind of stuff.
Yeah, except we'll have Filipino barbecue, and
you don't have like a suckling pig that you roast over.
It would be nice. I believe we could.
Would you try?
Have a leech? I wouldn't.
Would you be able to? Do you know enough to do a leech on by yourself, or no?
I know how to do it.
You do?
I know it's really hard.
That's what I'm saying. I know it's hard. I've seen it done on TV, and I'm like,
yeah,
I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, but hey, if we were camping, why not? I mean, we can get a pig.
Yeah, we know it's not that hard around here.
There's a place like less than a mile from here that sells pigs.
Yeah,
the whole pigs. But who I think when we get lechons, I think the guy does go there and get them. But Yeah, we do that, and then there's
The
there's
drinking.
fishing,
Oh, fishing.
cast net fishing.
They do cast net fishing there?
Yes, I've seen
Okay.
certain places. Yes,
Mm.
if we go to seashore, I mean the first landing,
Okay.
we do they can do cast net fishing. I don't know about in the Chesapeake camping ground,
Right.
which yeah, it's you would like it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the heat and bugs and
You're losing me really quickly. I just want you to know that you lost me. Like that was a big. That's not just like a little bit of maybe not. I was like, oh damn heat, because I hate heat and bugs. Yeah, I'm not really good with bugs.
I hate bugs too. Like I said, one of my biggest fears is the tick that makes you not eat meat.
Oh yeah, that's true. You still carry around that stuff to protect you from those things?
I don't carry it around.
In your car.
I have it.
Okay.
No, I don't bring it with me everywhere. No, I have it. But
you don't have a ready bag with all that stuff to protect you.
If I do know I'm going into the woods, yes, I'm going to bring it with me.
Okay.
I have a whole bunch of stuff like that. Snake bite kit. I got poison ivy kit.
Yeah, I have none of that stuff in my ready bag, just so you know, because I know it's not going to be something I worry about.
Well, you should.
Well, I'm not going in the woods. This is the whole point.
Yeah, but you said your ready bags in case you get stuck somewhere
on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I'll go into the middle of the damn road where anything is going to be, where I'm not going to be. I don't know. It's not going to be that secluded. So, I mean, a lot of it's more like if we have to go for because of a hurricane or something, someplace like further away. You just have some stuff like I have ibuprofen, some Tylenol, some basic stuff that you would just have a more in a convenient place altogether. That's my more thing. That's not really as. What are you thinking?
Ibuprofen and Tylenol. That's important for your ready bag.
Yeah, you don't think so?
That's just something you should have. It's not a ready bag thing. It's just a thing.
You don't think? Okay, I have fire starting equipment. I have that. I have like flashlight, multi tools, blades. Knives and stuff to cut stuff. Some stuff to write with. I mean, it's like I said, it's not like I'm not going crazy. Although I was looking at like a Israeli bandage tourniquet thing, but I don't know if that's really necessary. So, those kind of things.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do a Tagalog word of the day.
Sure. This is the part of the podcast where we educate our listeners on the Filipino language. Neither Boogie nor I are actual native speakers of Filipino or Tagalog. So if we get some aspect of the word incorrect, like its pronunciation, usage, or some nuance of its meaning, feel free to let us know because we value your feedback. But always keep in mind that we've said and we'll continue to say that this is not an information-based podcast. This is a couple of guys just trying to share a little bit of the culture that you might be able to use in some casual situation. Like, hey, there's a little bit of Filipino I'm putting out there. So that's what all it is. We, don't be like, hey, you totally used that wrong in a mean way. You could tell us that we totally used it wrong, but just keep it friendly. Boogie, do you have a word?
Sunog.
Sunog.
Sunog. Merong ang sunog sa bahay si Sterno.
I think I know what that means, but that's a disturbing sentence.
It's the first thing that popped in my head.
Okay.
Sunog ang
lechon?
Yeah.
That's better to me than my bahay being on fire.
Sunog ang barbecue.
Yeah, burned. Right? It's burned, literally. Burned.
Fire.
Fire? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So sunog is fire.
Yeah.
So let's make sunog our word of the day.
Sunog.
Sunog.
All right, is that it?
I think so.
Make sure you visit our website, www.sini-gang.com.
Or email us at the Sini-Gang@gmail.com.
Follow us on Twitter at the Sini-Gang.
Find us on Facebook on facebook.com/Sini-Gang and look for our videos on YouTube. Do a search for our URL, www.sini-gang.com, and that should take you to our videos. And if you would, comment, like, subscribe even, that would be awesome. So until next time, this is Sterno Supernova.
And this is l-boogy, the Elemental One, saying thanks for listening and
Sige na. We good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for watching. Tune in for our next episode. Until then, take care.